All right, guys, welcome back to Humility Vibe Podcast Show. This is where we get unscripted, uninterrupted, and uncensored answers. This is where we give you answers as it happens. We do not filter it in any way. And as you all know, we are directed to youth. We are guiding them for them not to make the mistake that a lot of us have made because we do not have such guidance. So, with me on studio today, I have somebody you guys would like to hear. But the fact that a lot of things have not really happened to you does not mean that it's not happening. It is really, really happening. But that's why we gather here every time to guide you on what you should do in order for you to avoid the mistake that some people are making. So today I have Mr. Steven. Please introduce yourself, sir.
Okay, thank you, Majesty. My name is Stephen, and I'm just a brother and a friend
Okay.
and a colleague.
Okay.
So good to be here.
Mr. Steven was here before when he treated a topic. Can a man mend a broken woman? He really gave us a good insight on that. So today we are talking about family pressure. Youth are being pressured these days. So it's our duty now to guide them on what is obtainable and what they should do for them to get the required result. So Mr. Steven, I would like you to define this peer pressure. What does it really mean?
Well, peer pressure is very simple. That's the pressure you get from your mate
Okay.
while growing up, or your mate within the neighborhood.
Okay.
You know, peer pressure, you want to measure up. You want to be like Mr. A, you want to be like Mr. B.
Okay.
Let's take it from the point of adolescence, adulthood, attaining the stage of adulthood. You want to test this or test that, or you see your friends doing something or the other. You want to feel among, or you are being convinced to go a particular way, which was not originally what you were meant to be.
Okay.
You know, you were not a thief, but you find yourself in the midst of boys that do pickpocket and the rest of them. So that influenced you, and then you told that aspect. So we can say that is
Peer pressure.
peer pressure.
Okay, what about the pressure in general? What does pressure mean? Because we are talking about peer pressure, we're talking about family pressure.
Yeah, the pressure in general has to do with the society.
Okay.
Society, you see the way the society is going,
Okay.
then you want to measure up. You know, you are pressed with the fallout of things and events.
Another camera.
You know, so you want to measure up.
Okay.
So pressure in general means that maybe you are no longer growing any younger. You hear things like your mate at 25 owns company, owns this, owns that. So you are being pressurized by that just to do what you are not supposed to do. So pressure can mean different things to different people depending on where you find yourself. But I think to be contented with proper timing will make one to, have a proper landing, not
Okay.
to fall into trouble.
Okay. So now, how can an individual deal with this pressure while still maintaining his own sanity?
Family pressure, yeah, family pressure can be in different way. Family pressure can maybe the level your dad wants you to go.
Yes.
Maybe your dad wants you to be a medical doctor.
Okay.
Your mom wants you to be a medical doctor, but that is not what you want for yourself. You can define that as pressure on you. You understand? Or you don't want to learn handwork, and your dad wants you to learn handwork.
Okay.
It can be like a pressure on
Are
you.
you okay?
Or you are this indoor kind of person. You like staying inside. Okay? You like staying inside, but your daddy wants you to go outside and mingle. But you are very reserved. And every time you come, what are you doing inside? Are you a woman? Are you this? Are you that? So that can be like a pressure on your part. So how can you deal with this? You can deal with this by just making them to see your own point of view.
Okay.
You understand? You analyze events, analyze things, just spread it on the table, and then critically look at it to know the one that you are to go with.
Okay.
And then make them see reason. This is who you are. So that you will not do something that at the end of the day you will not like the result. Okay. I've seen people that their dad wants them to be lawyer, so they went to school to read law, and then at the end of the day they went to law school, they came home and said, "Dad, this is your certificate.
Chopper.
I have brought it. In fact, I made first class upper
For you,
for you, but now I am going
do what I like.
to do what I like, which it can be media, it can be photography,
Okay.
it can be something the father will not like in quote for the child. You know, there's a way people of the high society look down on a trade like photography, like music. They want you to be something very big, like a medical doctor, a lawyer,
An
an
engineer,
engineer, in fact
a nurse.
aeronautic engineer,
Okay, something like that.
or you can go for like industrial law, you know. So that can be like a pressure on your own part. You also find a way to deal with it, so that can give you an opportunity as an individual to identify yourself, discover who you really want to be,
Okay.
and then have a way of sharing it with your parents. Say, oh, this is what I want to be, and you are making me toe this line. It's not really what I like. uh, but sometimes you may not want to disobey your parents, so you want to do what they want to do. But I think dialogue can come in at some point.
We are talking about pressure from family and how to deal with it. I have a scenario.
Okay.
Maybe you are a first son. You wanted to study like law, and this man said, "I want you to be a medical doctor. If not, I will not pay your school fees again." And at this point now, you're already in law school, and your father wants you to leave law school to a medical school. So at this point now, your school and your schooling is at stake because nobody will pay your school fees. So if you are to be in this situation, what will you do? How will you address this issue so that there will not be any disagreement between you and your father?
Well, if I'm to be in this situation, or anybody out there in this situation, growing up, I believe you know that you have family friends,
Yes.
you have acquaintances, you have somebody that your father will say, this is my bosom friend. You see them sitting together, probably gisting
Okay.
on glass of wine,
Okay.
and the rest of them. If I am the person, or I am that particular child, I will walk up to that his friend and make him to see reasons, because sometimes you can use those your dad's friend or your mom's friend to actually influence
Your father.
your father.
Okay.
You understand? Instead of doing it the rough way. And so, okay, no problem, let's see how it goes. You just take your bag and leave the house. No, it doesn't work that way. You can approach it even from the angle of religion. You can go to your church or to your mosque and make your pastor or your imam to see reason why you need to study this and why this is your passion, so that they can come in and speak to your dad.
Okay.
You understand? At some point, that can also pacify. Your dad will say, ah, this is my child. I think he or she knows what he really wants. You understand? So that is from another angle. Then from the angle of maybe from the family, it depends on who your mom is to your dad. Sometimes you can also use your mom to pacify your dad. You understand? And then I think with these few points, you can be able to just navigate around it. At the end of the day, you can come up. But I don't think outright disobedience and stubbornness and shouting and nagging could solve the problem. You say, okay, dad, you want me to be this? I don't want to be this. Okay, take your house, take everything. You just take your bag. It doesn't work that way. At the end of the day, you will be the utmost loser.
Okay.
You understand? Because your dad wants a future for you. Take it or leave it. Your dad is already exiting the earth gradually. So he wants to put you on a platform where you can have a life for yourself. So at the end of the day, the both of you are right, but coming from different angle. So I think at the end of the day, dialogue will be able to solve.
Okay. So what about in a situation whereby this man now finally he forced you out of your own trade? He left medicine and surgery. You went for law. You finished. You came out as a renowned lawyer. You made your money. He is not expecting you to take care of him, maybe at old age. So will you now say, because he pushed me from this side to what he wants, I've done this thing for him, I've made money, but I'll not take care of him?
Well, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. If at the end of the day, he was able to win the argument of your career choice, and you now made money
Inside it.
You came out as a graduate, you have law firms, you have people working under you, are now successful. It's fine. At the end of the day, what matters is you being successful with the right channel. So he still sponsored you, so there's no how you can say you are not going to take care of him. Why won't you take care of him? You take care of him because at the end of the day he made you see reason to read that law. For the fact that you are even successful shows that that was even your part at the first instance. Okay. Because as a child there's this adage that what the father sees sitting down, even if you climb to the tallest of trees,
you will not see it.
You will not see it.